Turning now to the border, Governor Greg Abbott traveled to the Rio Grande Valley earlier this week, where he signed 3 bills into law.
So the bills are actually designed to deter illegal immigration, and one of them, SB 4, makes illegally crossing into Texas from Mexico a state crime.
And joining us now to talk more about it is Dr. Eddy Carder from Prairie View A&M. Good morning to you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Let's just start from the very beginning. And for someone who might not be aware of what's going on with this, can you break it down and explain what this is meant to do?
Essentially, SB 4 makes it a state crime to enter the U.S. through Texas between points of entry. And so it makes it a state crime. It's facing inevitable legal challenges because, generally speaking, immigration issues are entrusted to the federal government, and at this point in time the federal government is really not fulfilling its total responsibility, and the state of Texas has really been struggling with exactly how to manage the problem at the border.
So I know the ACLU and many other organizations have already filed a lawsuit for this. What can we see moving forward when it comes to this lawsuit?
It's obviously going to be challenged. In fact, one of the authors of the bill and now the law, Senator Betancourt, said that the law was crafted with full awareness that it was going to be legally challenged, because typically, as I said, immigration is entrusted to the federal authorities. And so this is an effort really to test the parameters, the boundaries of the state's say-so with regard to the issue of immigration. And so there's going to be some significant developments with regard to the issue probably moving toward the Supreme Court. In fact, the governor himself indicated that he fully expected for the Supreme Court to address this matter. Is it a federal matter, or does the state of Texas have some say-so with regard to this issue of immigration at this point in time?
Can you walk us through what the state of Texas is arguing versus that counteroffer and what that looks like?
Absolutely. The state of Texas is arguing that under Article 1, Section 10, that that particular part of the U.S. Constitution gives the states the right to act in their own self-interest if the federal government fails to carry out their due responsibility or their duty with regard to protecting the nation. And so that's what Governor Abbott is arguing, that the state of Texas has the right to defend its own borders, its own integrity, its own future with regard to the issue of immigration. On the other hand, the federal authorities are going to say that this Texas law challenges, really fails under the supremacy clause of the U.S. Constitution, which says that any state law that contradicts the federal Constitution is really unconstitutional in and of itself. Generally speaking, that's what the supremacy clause intends. And so there's going to be some significant legal challenges with regard to who is right and who is wrong, and what is the role of the state in this matter.
So obviously there's an uphill battle, as you said, when it comes to the legalities of this. When could we see this law go into effect, just say hypothetically speaking?
Exactly. The law is supposed to go into effect in March of 2024, but most speculation and commentary of scholars and judicial officials believe that there's going to be some kind of injunction issued with regard to the implementation of the law, which will put matters on hold. And so other individuals have said it could be months, possibly even years, before this particular issue is resolved. The timeline, we'll just have to see how that plays itself out.
And if it does go through, what would be the consequences if somebody illegally comes into Texas?
Oh, that's a very good question. The consequences essentially are, if an individual crosses the border and violates the law, it's a Class B misdemeanor, which would consist of up to 6 months in jail. If you violate it repeatedly, then possibly up to 20 years in prison, 2 to 20 years in prison. It makes it a felony crime. So the ramifications of this law are very, very significant.
All right, Dr. Eddy Carder, we appreciate you. Thanks so much for your time this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you.